The Vivo X30 is coming very soon, and we're just getting our first official looks from Vivo about what this device is going to give us. Vivo have been teasing this device for a while now, and we know it's actually going to be carrying a Samsung Exynos chipset, the Exynos 980. Vivo went for this one because the 980 is 5G capable, and in China right now, you cannot release a device without 5G, especially as the X30 is one of Vivo's flagship brands. How good is that processor? Well, I guess we could say it's maybe a mid-range or upper mid-range processor from Samsung. It does seem odd that the Exynos 980 wasn't a flagship chipset, but it did have integrated 5G. That was because this year manufacturers couldn't get the 5G modem small enough to put on the flagship chipsets, which is why the larger mid-range chipsets had it this year. It is very unique though, as I cannot remember a time in the previous history anyway that a different brand used a Samsung Exynos chipset in their phone. Vivo use OLED displays across most of their phones. This will be no different. What we can see is that it features a hole punch cutout design. I would suggest that this is the same type of screen and cutout as we saw on the Vivo S1, which was recently released in China. A much smaller cutout for that front camera than we've seen in any previous cutout designs. I would say it almost appears completely bezel-less, and that cutout really will just melt into the display and the status bar at the top of the phone. So we have 3 camera units on that main camera array and then a square cutout to the right of that. So we know we're getting a periscope style zoom camera in the Vivo X30. Vivo have been showing off the zoom capability of this phone. They have said it has a zoom range of 60 times, which puts it up there with the most capable devices. The P30 Pro, the Oppo Reno 10 times zoom edition, and the recently announced Mi 10 all have very long zoom range, anywhere from 50 to 60 times. So Vivo are joining the party. Vivo haven't told us what the optical zoom range is, although most leaks outside of China do put it still at 5 times optical zoom. I also really like the way that Vivo have implemented the cutout design, having that squared off camera outside of the main camera array and also flush to the back of the phone. I think that looks really good. The main camera array will obviously be housing the main camera and ultra wide camera. The third one is still a mystery though. It could be a macro sensor because Vivo do like putting those on their phones. I would say that Vivo are promoting the camera actually even more than the fact that this phone has 5G. So the long zoom range does try to compete with the P30 Pro, and I do think the design overall does look a little bit like the P30 Pro too. The color options, you can see a burnt orange type color, a blue, purple or white type color. That will probably change depending on how the light hits it, and a black color. I do like how the real device looks as compared to the renders though. I think the colors just look a little bit more premium. Based on the renders from the official videos, doesn't look like there's a headphone jack on this phone. The Honor V30 got rid of the headphone jack this time around too, so it looks like right now even these upper mid-range or premium mid-range type phones are getting rid of the headphone jack too. Pricing is as yet unknown. We won't find out until the launch, which is very soon. The X27 came in just over 3,000 RMB. We expect this to be a little bit more expensive because of the 5G chipset and the improved internal components. This will go head to head with a ton of phones coming out in December with 5G, the Reno 3, the Honor V30 series, and the Nova 6 series from Huawei. But for right now, it looks like a really decent camera system, an OLED screen with a tiny cutout. It looks like a very promising competitor. We'll have to wait and see what the other companies are doing in regards of their devices. Subscribe for all the latest tech news and information on the latest phones. That's it for now, but I'll see you in the next one.